Mulai di-admit ya. Mulai di-admit aja.
Halo. Tapi udah tuh, meeting is now live streaming.
Ya, Pak.
Kita langsung ada semuanya aja ya, Bu ya.
Langsung aja ya.
Ya.
Accepted semua ya. Pasti. Nah, bismillah. Oke.
Life. If working is for the sake of working, the apes also work. So Hamka says, here I understand it is not enough for human to only have broad knowledge, but should be useful life for the community. If working is for the sake of working,
Today,
the apes also work. So
the
Hamka says,
opportunity is not
here I
only for
understand it is not enough for human to only have broad knowledge,
women,
but should be
also
useful
take part in
life for the
determining
community.
the future.
If working is for the sake of working, the
Educated
apes
women
also work. So
are the
Hamka says,
opportunity, are the symbol of Islamic
here I understand
civilization.
it is not enough for human to only have broad knowledge,
Women, universe has given a lot of
but
hopes
should be
and
useful
opportunities in
life for the
determining
community.
the future.
If
And
working
choice.
is for the sake of working,
Educated
apes
women
also work. So
are the
Hamka says,
opportunity, are the symbol of Islamic
here I
civilization.
understand it is not enough for human to only have broad knowledge.
Women, universe has predestined as the
But should be
first
useful
opportunity
life for the
for us.
community.
Himalaya city
If
has
working
abundant
is
natural
for the sake of
resources,
working,
cultural diversity, and potential human resources. From time to time, Tasikmalaya City has shown its various advancement, and Siliwangi University takes part in the spirit of the new civilization. Siliwangi University exists as the oasis of the new age.
More than half of the century of our country's independence enjoyed by Indonesia, from Sabang to Merauke, from the north to the south. This independence not is recovery or a gift, but said it's blessed of our heroes. But it doesn't mean the struggle ends. Today, in the hands of educated youth, the baton continues, and Siliwangi University is here, become the place of the birth of educated students who are strong, superior, and fearless. Those are ready to embrace the development of art.
Since its establishment in 1978, in harmony with the ideals of the founders, Siliwangi University, as the biggest private university in the East Priangan, is committed to developing educated and versed students to embrace the bright future of the nation. Then, until the signing of the decree of Siliwangi University status to be state university by President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono on 1 April 2014. That spirit never fades. Siliwangi University is committed to answering the global challenges. Located in the center of the city of Tasikmalaya, with its cool air, Siliwangi University has created a beautiful and friendly campus area that makes the study atmosphere conducive and enjoyable. Moreover, we are equipped with quality, friendly lecturers who are committed to friendly, fast, and efficient services. As a reputable state university with its achievements in the East Priangan, Siliwangi University has become a place for teaching and learning for students who come from all over Indonesia. Currently, thousands of students obtaining scholarship from various institutions, government or private, are enjoying their studies with us that upholds the values of Pancasila and diversity. Siliwangi University has 7 faculties and 5 postgraduate programs. Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Faculty of Economics, Faculty of Agriculture, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Health Sciences, Faculty of Social and Political Science, Faculty of Islamic Religion, postgraduate programs. 385 experienced and active lecturers are doing research in science, technology, social, and culture. Siliwangi University is ready to provide quality education in the field of science, technology, social, and culture. Siliwangi University is ready to provide a quality and competitive education for global challenges, facilitating students to become quality graduates for the nation. To support the competency and skills of the students, Siliwangi University provides adequate facilities like laboratories with modern and advanced equipment, sport, arts, and entrepreneurship on a lot of land around 30 hectares, a cool location in the middle of a green rural area. There is Siliwangi University Campus 2 expansion. To provide quality services, Siliwangi University provides several buses for the students and lecturers round trips. God the Almighty has a lot of secrets. In the silent universe, science is the key to unlocking the potential. Only with science, what was previously impossible can be possible.
Dear future, it is us. Welcome to Siliwangi University.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to International Webinar on Digital Storytelling with the theme Creating Digitalized Storytelling for EFL's Instructional Media, Challenges and Benefits on Friday, 5th of May, 2023. My name is Shri. It's a great honor for me to be your mistress of ceremony on this very special occasion. First of all praises and gratitude are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his blessings and mercy we can attend and participate in this special event without any obstacles. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who brought us to the path of light from the darkness in this life. Now, I would like to welcome and express my gratitude to the Honorable Dr. Yusuf Supriyono M.Pd as the head of the English Education Department, Siliwangi University, the Honorable Coordinator of International Webinar on Digital Storytelling, Santiana SS M.Pd, the Honorable Keynote Speakers for today's session, Dr. Amitabh, Vikram, Dwivedi, and Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd, the Honorable Lecturers of the English Education Department, Siliwangi University, the Honorable all the presenters of today's session, and also distinguished participants. Thank you very much for preparing yourself to join this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to read the agendas for today. We have several agendas as follows: opening, singing national anthem, Indonesia Raya, hymn and march, Siliwangi University, report by International Webinar on Digital Storytelling Coordinator, Santiana SS M.Pd, welcoming speech by the head of the English Education Department, Dr. Yusuf Supriyono M.Pd, prayer led by Muhammad Isma S.Pd, presentation sessions by keynote speakers, followed by group presentations, and closing. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is singing national anthem, Indonesia Raya, hymn, and march unsil.
insan berbudi, harapan jaya sepanjang masa bagimu negeriku Indonesia. Derap semangat bergelora, berkibar panci kejayaan, genapkan juang, bersiap sedia, tetaplah di depan, atasi kebodohan, cerdaskan bangsa Indonesia, sejahtera kita semuanya, kuatkan tekad, bijak bermartabat, negara merdeka kan tetap kita jaga. Abdi bakti bagi pertiwi, karya juangku sepanjang hayat. Universitas Siliwangi takkan lawan, takkan pernah menyerah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third agenda is report presented by the coordinator of International Webinar on Digital Storytelling, Santiana SS M.Pd. To Mrs. Santiana, please.
Thank you, Ms. Rizka. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Head of English Education Department, Universitas Siliwangi, distinguished keynote speakers, presenters, committees, and participants. It is an honor for me as the coordinators of this event to greet you at this international webinar on digital storytelling hosted by the English Education Departments of Universitas Siliwangi. Our theme for this webinar is creating digitalized storytelling for EFL Instructional Media, Challenges and Benefit. This theme recognizes the importance of incorporating digital storytelling in English as foreign language, EFL, instructional media, and how it can benefit the learning process. Over the next 2 days, we will hear from the expert in the fields of EFL and also digital storytelling, including our esteemed keynote speakers. Please welcome Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi from Sri Mata Vaishno University, Katra, India, and Ibu Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd from University of Al-Asyariah, Mandar, Indonesia, Dr. Sybill Krizzia Gabronino Ledesma from Southern Leyte State University, Philippines, and also Miss Ming-yao Hsung from Taipei Wanfu Public Elementary School. Their presentation will cover a range of the topic related to the challenges and also benefit of creating digitalized storytelling for EFL instructional media. I would like to also really great because there are 632nd participants joining us in this event around the world, including Malaysia, Philippines, Australia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Ghana, Nigeria, India, and also Indonesia. This truly reflect the global interest in improving EFL instructional media through digital storytelling. And I believe that this webinar will provide a platform for us to share ideas, learn from each other, and also engage in meaningful discussion. I would like to take a moment to thank you, the English Education Departments of Universitas Siliwangi, the keynote speaker, the presenters, committees, and also participants for making this event possible. Your contributing are invaluable, and we are really appreciate your time and effort in making this webinar a successful. I would like to mention that we have a panel presenters who are students of the digital storytelling course at Universitas Siliwangi, and they will be sharing their experiences and insight on the current application that can support the creations of digital stories for EFL instructional media. And this will provide us with practical and up-to-date information on the tools that are available to us. I believe that the contribution of our panel presentation will add value to this webinar and also enrich our discussion. We are grateful to them for sharing their knowledge and also expertise with us. Once again, I would like to extend my appreciation to all of our honorable guests and also participants for their presence and also participant in this webinar. I hope that this event will be informative, engaging, and beneficial for all of us. Finally, I would like to invite the head of English Education Department to open officially the international webinar on digital storytelling. I hope this webinar will inspire you to integrate digital storytelling into your EFL instructional media and explore the challenges and benefits of doing so. Let's use this opportunity to learn from each other and positively impact EFL education. Have a wonderful conference. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for the report, Ms. Santiana. The next agenda is welcoming speech by the head of the English Education Department, Dr. Yusuf Supriyono, M.Pd. To Mr. Yusuf, please.
Yeah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. To all my dears, good afternoon from Indonesia. With appreciation to the committee and particularly Bu Santiana for initiating or establishing this international webinar on digital storytelling. As the output of digital storytelling course in our program, our department always supports the good things for humankind, including promoting high quality education through webinar. And great thanks to the keynote speakers, Dr. Muthmainnah from University of Al-Asyariah, Mandar, Indonesia, and then Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi from Shri Vaishno, Devi University, India, and then Ming-yao, Winnie, Hsung from Taipei, Wanfu Public Elementary School, Taiwan, and then Dr. Sybill, Krizzia, Gabronino, Ledesma from Sultan Leyte State University, Philippines. Thank you all for willingness to take a part of this very important, gorgeous, inspiring, motivating events. And of course, great love and spirit from us, English Education Department, Siliwangi University, to the all participants of this event coming from many overseas countries. Get the knowledge and share experience from our teachers or speakers and friends in order to become more professional. This topic, creating digitalized story for EFL instructional media, is interesting to understand since technology integrations becomes important and interesting in learning English as a foreign language. All right, in this occasion, allow me to officially open this event international webinar on digital storytelling, May 5th, 2023. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and have a wonderful webinar to you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, for the warm welcoming speech and also the opening, Mr. Dr. Yusuf Supriyono, M.Pd. The third agenda is prayer, led by Muhammad Isma, S.Pd. To Mr. Isma, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected sir and madam, with your permission, I'd like to lead a prayer according to the teachings of Islam. For those of you who have different beliefs, please feel free to adapt accordingly. Let us take a moment to supplicate to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, asking for the smooth and blessed proceedings of the international webinar on digital storytelling. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Astaghfirullahaladzim, astaghfirullahaladzim, astaghfirullahaladzim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazida. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azimi sultanik. Oh Allah, we ask for your blessing and guidance on this day as we gather here for the webinar on digital storytelling. Pour out your mercy and blessing upon us. Grant us ease and blessings in this event. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Oh Allah, we pray that the knowledge we acquire from this event will be beneficial, useful, and become an asset for us in carrying out our duties. Oh Allah, guide and protect us so that we can give our best for our institution and our country. Rabbi zidni ilman warzuqni fahma. Oh Allah, forgive our sins, the sins of our parents or our teachers, and the sins of our leaders. Guide us to the path that you are pleased with. Show us the truth so that we may follow it, and show us the falsehood so that we may avoid it. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqa warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arina al-batila batila warzuqna ijtinabah. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Amin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Isma. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the main agendas, which are presentation sessions by keynote speakers, followed by 4 group presentations. We have 2 excellent keynote speakers for today. They are Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi and Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd. The first keynote speaker is Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi from Shri Vaishno Devi University, Jakarta, India. He's already here now. Hello, sir. It's a great honor to have you here. This session will be guided by the moderator, Tahtania Regita S.Pd. To Ms. Tahtania, please. I'm sorry, Miss Tahtania, your voice isn't clear. We still couldn't hear your voice. I'm sorry. Miss Tahtania, can you please take off your headphone? Maybe the problem is from that thing.
Okay, Miss Rizka, how about now?
Yeah, it's audible, but there is an echo after your voice.
First. Okay, check.
Yeah, now it's better, Miss.
Okay, thank you, Miss Rizka. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to International Webinar on Digital Storytelling with the theme Creating the Digitalized Story for EFL Instructional Media Challenges and Benefits. Thank you very much for preparing yourself to join our webinar today. I'm Tahtania Regita, the moderator of today's webinar. I'm very pleased to see you here and welcome all of you to this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 keynote speakers and 4 group presentations for today. All right, before the presentations begins, let me inform how the presentation will be going on. First, the presenter will deliver the material for 25 minutes. Second, there will be questions and answer session for 5 minutes in the end of the presentations. Every participant can drop the questions in the chat box, and don't forget to mention your name, affiliations, and the questions is addressed. Or you can directly ask the questions to the speaker by using raise hand feature. And last, for all participants, please stay in the room until the webinar is finished. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first keynote speaker for today is Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi from Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University, Katra, India. Here the CV of Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi. Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi from University Faculty of Linguistics at the School of Languages and Literature at Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University, India. Research interests, language documentation, writing descriptive grammars, and the preservations of rare and endangered language in South Asia. Most recent books, Something Lurks It Seems 2017, Marfa House, Texas. Degree and Its Dialects, Lincoln, Europe, Munich 2018. A Grammar of Sarazi, Lincoln, Europe, Munich 2019. Academic and work-related experiences. His 19 lectures in the public domain are featured at the National Digital Library of India and DLI, M.Pd. He has contributed numerous papers to many science citation index and Scopus journals. He has contributed more than 180 research chapters to knowledge resources, chiefly and to encyclopedia published by Springer's Nature, Sage Robin and Littlefield, and ABC CLIO publications. He has also been a CEO director for research project entitled A Comprehensive Study of Cultures, Philosophy, Literature, and Language, sections by Indian Council of Social Science Research, ICSSR. He has published numerous poems in different anthologies, journals, and magazines worldwide. Wow, that's really great CV from Dr. Amitabh. All right, to Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi, entitled Teaching Through Using Narrative in Research and Practice. Please to deliver your presentations.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind introduction. And I welcome all the participants And I'm also thankful to the head of the department, Dr. Yusuf, and Dr. Santiana for arranging this talk. So even I'm quite interested in talking to you and sharing my ideas on how stories, they play an important role in understanding. So it is going to be quite comprehensive discussion on how stories they play an important role, and I'm also sharing my my screen with you, and I hope now you are seeing my screen. Fine. So this is the title of my presentation, and it is divided into two parts: teaching through stories, and the explanatory part. The second part is using narratives in research and practice. So the focus is how stories, how narratives, they can be used in teaching, particularly when you are dealing with research methods, or when you teach your students to become analytical mind. But before I start my session, it is also important to let you know that a very famous saying by Walter Fisher comes to my mind, and he worked on narratives quite a lot, that people do not love arguments, they want good stories. So it is not the case that stories or like narratives are the only source of teaching, but in general we also like to hear, listen good stories. So that is basically the starting point of this presentation. But the crucial and the most basic and fundamental question starts with why stories, or what can we do with these stories? To answer this question, that why do we require stories, or how can we use stories in our day-to-day teaching, or how they will be helpful to assist us in our day-to-day teaching. So here there is a list of certain things that a teacher can do in his or her class related to stories. For example, a teacher can use stories to illustrate concepts. A teacher can use stories to spark discussion, raise questions, to teach values, to teach theory. And when it comes to research and writing, then stories can be used to teach research methods and critical thinking as well. So important things that a teacher can do with short stories. But the other important thing is that how we can use these. So I will also give you a practical demonstration how we can use this. But I'm just switching off my video, because I think the message it's coming like internet is unstable. So I don't think like it will create any problem if I switch off my video. So I hope you can see the slide as it is, and it will not create any problem, and it won't be any problem during the delivery of my session. Now, what is the theoretical basis? Like when we talk about stories are important, okay, fine, we agree stories are important, but actually what is the theoretical basis for that? So it is not the case like we are saying these stories are good and like you need to believe it, but it is well researched that stories are important and how we can use that. So there is one such pedagogy, and according to that pedagogy known as experiential learning pedagogy. And what it says like teaching of all languages will be enhanced through innovative and experiential methods. And telling stories or teaching through stories is one such experiential method. There are other experiential methods as such. For example, gamification is one such method. And when we look at gamification, then a story can also be very well the part of that gamification process. Otherwise, like there are certain nowadays apps or like the technology that we use in the class, that is also the part of experiential learning pedagogy. So it is not like I'm saying that stories are good source for teaching learning practice, but it is like well researched. So there is again one such theory known as constructive theory of learning, and that also supports. And what it says, like individuals, particularly students, construct their knowledge and understanding through active engagement in the world around them. So stories, they are good source of understanding how the world functions. The thing is like why stories? First thing is like stories are ordered. For example, a normal general story starts with once upon a time. So once upon a time is such a thing that is like conditioning our mind that, okay, now the things that are coming that happened in the past, they are in the form of a short story and they will be ordered. So something that is ordered, something that is related to past experience, and something that is channelizing our mind to a particular direction, so that we will grasp whatever the things that are coming to us in the form of story that will help us learning things fast. So further, constructive theory of learning says that individuals' prior knowledge and experiences shape their perceptions and interpretation of new information, and they must actively integrate this new information with their existing knowledge in order to make sense of it. So when we try to understand like how this teaching thing takes place in the classroom, so it is basically a clash between new and old. So you have an old information and the teacher is going to deliver the new information. So there is a clash. There is a clash, like sometimes the learners, they are reluctant to accept the new information. Sometimes they are reluctant to accept the authority of the teacher. Sometimes they think like we know more than the teacher. So all such things are quite problematic. And in order to solve this tussle, we require short stories, because short stories is like an amalgamation, a meeting point of old and new. So teacher is accepting, okay, we know that you know certain things, but now let me teach you something new. So, okay, I will tell you a story and you already know what is a story and how a story is structured. And I will try to figure it out how much you know about a particular topic. And then I will just give you new information so that your ego will not get hurt, that you know more than the teacher, or you challenge the authority of the teacher. So all such problems will also be solved by this method, short storytelling. And it is not only the case with teaching languages or like teaching foreign language using a story, but when you look at the University of Harvard, famous for its management program, and generally like Harvard Business School. So Harvard Business School is famous for its case studies. So case studies are what? Case studies are actually stories that happen in the past, something that has happened to some firm, some corporation, whether it succeeded, it failed, or it's like struggling. So all those case studies are like important. And if you just simply want to say what these case studies actually are, then those case studies are actually stories. Those case studies are actually narratives. And like they are preparing future management leaders, managers, to just study those case studies and try to figure out like how things happened and learn from those experiences and then to perform better. So it is not the case like a story is something for a child or for children only, or it is like, okay, one way of teaching students or make education fun, but it has like important implication, because Harvard Business School is no fun. So it's like the entire, they are like, it would not be an exaggeration to say like they are governing the economy of the world, because the students who are studying there or who have passed out, they are serving various multinational corporations. So in this way, story is quite important. And another theoretical background that why studies are important, we get from Lev Vygotsky, a constructivist and a cognitive psychologist. And what he said, he talked about the zone of proximal development, popularly known as ZPT. Now, ZPT is of the task that an individual can perform with the help of a more knowledgeable other, such as a teacher or a peer. So it's like, again, to solve the clash between the old information and the new information that we have. So students may gradually develop the skills and knowledge necessary to complete tasks independently, moving from the zone of potential development to the zone of actual development. So actual development matters a lot. Potential can be anything, but actual, what really matters. So it's not the case like you are simply using a story to teach students certain concept only, but they will also learn that how I can channelize my mind, how can I channelize or how can I train my brain to think in that manner and to learn in that manner. So it's like a sort of a mental activity or a mental exercise that you are teaching to your students for lifetime, and they will use it for future purposes. And when we talk about the gamification or what gamification is, then short stories or like taking stories to your classroom is again the part of gamification, where students they are engaged, motivated, and whatever you teach, that will retain in their memory, because that is the most important thing. Like teacher teaches, students they forget. So that is the thing, like how can we make like teacher teaches is equal to student remembers. So that thing we require. So it is like the short story can be a great tool that the retention percentage will increase, it will enhance. And further, like it is also supported with the Harriet case-based learning, where the first point is like tell a story. So the case-based learning, as I said, like the Harvard business school, and it is famous for its case studies. So basically, like tell a story is the best method to teach something interesting. So even like we take this first point from the Harriet case-based learning, and if we try to apply to a very basic or very like a nursery standard short story, then also we can just, or like this Aesop's fables, like there is the Aesop fables, the tortoise and the hare. Now let's say this is the case title of our the tortoise and the hare, and the case summary is like, in this fable the hare challenges the tortoise to a race and is so confident in his abilities that he takes a nap during the race. Meanwhile, the tortoise steadily continues and ultimately wins the race, teaching the hare a valuable lesson about the importance of perseverance. So this is like or everyone knows, and Aesops, they are famous for like teaching morality through stories, and it is like very basic, so it's not like very complicated. But again, even a teacher can start like, okay, if this is the story, then what would be the objectives of this story? Because to find out the objectives, find out the research questions, research objectives, research statement, they are the part of a research training. As I said, like my presentation is more focused on the research. So let's say you can teach your students that how they can raise intelligent questions. Because at one place, I remember Prophet Muhammad once said, like a good question is half knowledge. So that is quite important for a research student, first to raise intelligent questions, because all questions by default are not intelligent. And I will give you some examples of stupid questions as well. And it is not like they are stupid because they are not well thought, but they are stupid because even the common sense is on stake. So let's say when the story is like very basic, very fundamental, or it looks like as if like an LKG student, a lower kindergarten student is reading this story, but there is an important lesson for this, like when you try to find out the objective. So this case aims to help students develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills by exploring the moral lessons of the fable and applying it to real-world situations. So it's like, it is not like actually a story of hare and tortoise. It is not the case, because hare and tortoise is like metaphors. It can be any person, let's say Abdul and Muhammad. So it can be any person, or it can be like Sarita and any other person. So tortoise and hare, they are simply the metaphors. So we need to treat that these are the actually metaphors, but actually what we want to teach them. So the questions will be like, what is the moral lesson of the fable? That is the most fundamental and basic one. So it can be the overarching question, because in research we have overarching questions and subordinate questions. So overarching question is like very broad. So here, what is the moral of the fable is actually the overarching question. But what are the subordinate questions that we have? Can you think of a time when you had to preserve in order to achieve a goal? How can the lesson of the fable be applied to academic or personal goals? So these are like critical thinking. Like you need to think, you need to just think of, also in the process of thinking about what has happened to me in the past, and you are also thinking about your own story or your own experiences. So can you think a situation in which someone else overconfidence led to their failure? So real life situation, again, critical thinking and problem solving. And what strategies can you use to overcome self-doubt? So sometimes like we are in a doubt whether we should do this, or let's say our friends are calling us, okay, let's have a party. But you know, like, okay, now studies and my examinations are near. So what is more important for me, to have a party or just to focus on my examination, my grades, my assignments? How to stay motivated? So this is the biggest problem nowadays, like how you can stay motivated, because no other person will come and just pump you and make you feel motivated. So you need to be self-motivated, but how? So many people, like, they are doing their jobs, but they are not motivated. They feel like they are not getting what they deserve. So there is again a lack of motivation there. So again, it is not simply tortoise and hare. It is like everyone who is involved. So you need to treat them as a metaphor and think critically. So what strategies can you use to overcome self-doubt or stay motivated when faced with a challenging task? So analysis, like a student would work in small groups to discuss the case questions and apply the lesson to the fable to their own experiences and real world situation. They could also present their findings to the class and engage in a group discussion about the different perspective and strategies for achieving goals. So that you can do with short stories. So again, like we can say, Aesop's fables in a case-based learning approach can help students develop critical thinking, problem solving, decision making skills. Fine. Let's say use short stories for teaching concepts. Now, I am a student of linguistics and I teach phonetics and phonology, morphology, syntax, generative syntax, all such things I teach my class. So let's say there is a concept of two sounds. Sounds are actually known as phonemes, like p and b sounds. So one sound is a fortis sound, like more strong sound, p is fortis and b is lenis. So these are concepts. So p and b, they are bilabial sounds. P is applosive, b is also applosive. But the difference between p and b is like p is voiceless, whereas b is voiced. But one more difference, that p is more, p has more strength, but b has a weak sound. So again, teacher can just draw such type of thing and make a short story like, once upon a time, there were two friends, Parker and Barber. Though they were equal in their mental abilities, Parker was more powerful than, or more, Parker had more strength, more strong than Barber. So again, like, because the letter that starts with the p and the sound that starts with the Parker is p, and the sound that starts with the Barber is b. So that comparison you can make, and then the student can retain this thing. So there is a possibility, if you simply say p is fortis and b is lenis, a student will remain for one day, a student will retain this information for 2 days, 5 days. But if you associate a concept with a story, though it is a nonsense story, it has no reality associated with that. But again, it will help a student to retain it further in their mind, in the long-term memory. So fortis and lenis are pronunciations of consonants actually, with relatively greater and lesser energy. So it is not like solely based your learning or teaching on the story, but assisting your teaching and learning with short story. Then gradually you will learn the scientific basis, like why p is strong and why b is weak. But actually some fiction, some sort of story type, some types of figures like this, then that will help students to retain this thing in their mind. So that I can do. Then I said, like, stories are also important. For example, teacher is teaching research students the importance of intelligent question, that not all questions are inherently intelligent. So let's say this short story, and the students will remain and remember this thing, like why intelligent questions are important. So how this story goes, like two priests, a Dominican and a Jesuit, are discussing whether it is a sin to smoke and pray at the same time. After failing to reach a conclusion, each goes off to consult his respective superior. The next week they meet again. The Dominican says, well, what did your superior say? The Jesuit responds, he said, it was all right. That's funny. The Dominican replies, my supervisor said it was a sin. The Jesuit says, what did you ask him? The Dominican replies, I asked him if it was all right to smoke while praying. Oh, said the Jesuit, I asked my supervisor if it was all right to pray while smoking. So again, like how you put this question. So like you do many activities all the time or in your entire day. And if you raise the question like, okay, can I remember God while eating food? Can I remember God while playing football? Can I remember God while studying? So they will say, yeah, there is no problem. So similarly, like, can I remember God while smoking? He will say like, okay, there is no problem. But if you say like, while I'm smoking, then I pray, or then I say, then it will become a sin. So this is just one example, like how intelligent questions lead to good results. But we should also know what is a stupid question as well. So there are like people who are not aware of common sense and they raise stupid questions. So what is stupid question actually? A stupid question is a logic backward question. So this is like, again, a short story. The website, for example, there is a conversation between two people. Like the website you build for us will work on both Internet Explorer and Google Chrome. So like the person who has assigned someone to just build a website raised this question. And we know like what is Internet Explorer and what is Google Chrome. So Abhinav Gaur, a senior design engineer at a semiconductor company that makes electronic chip, was asked by his aunt, what are your most popular flavors? So like chip is there, and chip is actually the electronic chip. The software engineer had been asked, can you get infected from the virus on your computer? So again, the website you build for us will work on Internet Explorer and Google Chrome. Like it is a stupid question, because we know like any website will run on any such engine. So these are search engines actually, Internet Explorers, like Google Chrome or any other. So similarly, like three examples, like electronic chip and the potato chip that you have, and the virus a computer gets, and the virus from you infected generally when you get sick. So like this is the world that we live around. So another such example of stupid question is like, again, a short story, Tourist Trap. Rory Young, a safari guide in Zambia, says he has been asked some really thick questions by tourists. Young wrote, what really left me speechless was parked in a Land Rover on an open grassland plain surrounded by the Kemurara, a herd over 2,000 buffalo, all doing what they do all day, graze. Someone asked me, what do they eat? So let's say like buffalo are grazing in front of you, and the people or someone asked like, okay, what do they eat? So this is like a backward logic question, and the importance of intelligent question we can also teach. Now, two more examples I will give you, and then I will end my presentation. So when I talk about short stories, when I talk about story, then it is not only prose story. It can be a poetic narrative as well, a poetic story. So here I have taken a short story, and it's a very famous and often cited poem by William Black. And the title of the poem is The Sick Rose. And I will tell you like how you can teach inductive and deductive reasoning. That is very much the part of research method from a poem as well. So this poem is like very famous, and many literature students, they know and they learn it by heart. So how this poem goes, the title of the poem is The Sick Rose. O rose, thou art sick, the invisible worm that flies in the night, in the howling storm, has found out thy bed of crimson joy, and his dark secret love does thy life destroy. So very a short poem. And at surface level, like we will think like it is a story of an insect and a rose, but actually it is it has a lot more deeper thing to say. But we will come to like how we can teach deductive reasoning from them. So generally we have deductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, analogical reasoning. Fine. So we have different types of reasoning, but here my focus is on deductive and inductive reasoning. So generally when we have deductive reasoning, that means the result is already with us. So the title is actually the result. The title is actually the judgment, the sick rose. That means we already know that rose is sick. So what is the premise? Premise is like something is wrong with the rose. So how do we know that something is wrong with the rose? Because title says this. So this is the premise that we have. But whether that premise is correct or not, we need to look for the evidences. So what are the specific evidence? So we draw the conclusion that a worm has infected the rose. And what are the examples that we have? The speaker implies that this worm represents some sort of destructive force that has caused the rose demise. So we have like the rose, the insect has found out thy bad of crimson joy. So because of that thing, the life of the royal rose has been destroyed. So this is like one example of how you can teach deductive reasoning, or how you can just make a stamp on the memory of your students that they will not forget and they will retain this thing, like what is deductive reasoning. The same poem we can use like for inductive reasoning. So what is our aim? To draw general conclusion, because when it comes to inductive reasoning, then generally we have to draw a general conclusion based on the data that we have. So now, like this poem that we have, and we need to draw a general conclusion after reading this poem, that what is this poem all about? So what we will do, we will just collect the data and analyze. And data we have like dark secret love, howling storms, thy life destroy. These are the phrases. So what we can say, even if we are taking the meaning, rose is actually a flower here, and the worm is actually an insect here, we can say the destructive power of love, metaphorically, that love is not all positive, but love has also a destructive power that can destroy the life of a person if it is the negative love. So with this, I end my presentation, and I hope I have stick to the time that was assigned to me, and I'm stop sharing my slide. And if you have any questions related to my presentation, I'll be happy to answer. So I can read certain questions that are there in the chat. Like one question is by Ahmed, and the question is, I have a question: should we answer stupid questions smartly or stupidly? I think like we should use our brain all the time, because it is not a race actually, that someone has raised a stupid question, then I should win the race and show that I am the more stupid than you. So it is not the case. Like we should always think smartly. We should use our common sense. So on the lighter side, because your question is also on the lighter side, so that's why my answer is also from the lighter side. So is there any already a link to, okay, that is a different, this is not question related to the presentation. Okay, fine. So is there any other question that you would like to ask? You can ask me, you can write in the chat box.
All right, thank you, Mr. Let me for a while replace the moderator who is currently experiencing the bad internet network. So thank you very much for answering the first question, and thank you very much for the great presentation. Now I would like to maybe invite all the participants to ask more questions if you'd like to. And if you'd like to ask directly, please raise your hand and I would like to hear your voice directly. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Satang, please, and you can ask the question directly.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, excuse me, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Satang, and I am teaching at the university at non-English department. So my question is effective using storytelling in teaching for students, I mean non-English student. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So I got your question. Like it is not specifically teaching languages, but there are other conceptual things. For example, I gave you example of inductive and deductive reasoning. Now, inductive and deductive reasonings, like it is applicable to any research thing. So like someone who is a researcher, the researcher must know what is inductive reasoning, what is deductive reasoning. So it is not the case that only when you are teaching language or only when you are teaching literature, but when you are teaching important concepts. For example, like one example I took from the linguistics and particularly from phonetics, like pause sound and burr sound. Now, pause sound and burr sound has nothing to do with the short story, but it depends upon the creativity of the teacher, like how a teacher is associating pause and burr sound and making it in the form of the story. So here the onus lies, the responsibility lies on the teacher, that how beautifully, how creatively a teacher can use short story to teach concepts or research methods or any other thing in any subject as such.
All right, thank you, Mr. Amitabh, for your answer, and thank you, Bapak Satang, for the questions. Now, I'd like to invite maybe for the last question. You can either type your questions in the chat box or ask directly by unmute yourself. Thank you very much. All right, maybe before we wait, while we are waiting, I'd like to ask for confirmation to the host, so Ms. Rizka, do we still have the time to continue with the session?
All right, I'm sorry for the late response. So for the keynote speaker, all right, we still have a little bit time, which is only 3 minutes, maybe. Just one questions before we move to another session.
Sure, thank you very much. Any other questions, maybe? Please raise your hand or write or type your questions in the chat box. So it looks like maybe we don't have any other questions, Ms. Rizka and Mr. Amitabh. So if I could actually give the floor back to the host. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Mr. Amitabh, for your great presentations. We hope maybe you can still stay here in the webinar if you'd like to. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
All right, thank you very much for the insightful and excellent presentation, Dr. Amitabh, Vikram, Dwivedi. And also thank you, Ms. Tatania, and also Mr. Arif for guiding the intriguing presentation and discussion session. Before going to the next session, I'd like to greet our distinguished participant who is going to be the keynote speaker for the second day, Ms. Dr. Sybill Krizzia Gabronino Ledesma. Hello, Miss. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to the next session. The second keynote speaker is Dr. Muthmainnah, M.Pd. But unfortunately, for the host, there will be here. Seems like Miss Tatania has already been here. So now I'd like to greet Miss Muthmainnah She is already here. Hello, ma'am. It's a great honor to have you here. Thank you very much. This session will be guided by the moderator, Tahtania Gregita S.P.D. To Miss Tahtania, please.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rizka Amelia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. Now we come to the second keynote speakers. Our second keynote speaker for today is Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd. from University of Al-Asyariah, Mandar, Indonesia. Here the CV of Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd. Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd., a highly accomplished assistant professor at University Al-Asyariah Mandar in West Sulawesi, Indonesia. Work experiences, a lecturer, a global speaker, international leader, other positions at her university, chairman of Indonesian language department, public relation officer, director of Women Center Studies, deputy director of Quality Assurance Unit, and currently deputy director of Language and Character Development Institute. Research interests: developing literary work, instructional teaching material, assurance of learning assured, TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages, ICT in education, digital education, and cybergogy. Accomplishments: won over 100 international awards, outstanding professor, outstanding leadership, best international influencer, best emerging professor, and of the year, international award for working women, SDG warrior, the recipient of Doctor of Excellence Award from the Philippines, having written 43 national and international books published by esteemed publishers, an outstanding scholar with a CINTA score overall of 2050 to an HI index 10. Wow, that's really great and inspired a lot. CV from Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd. To Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd. Entitled Unleashing a Meta Learning Approach Assisted VR in Building Up the Story. Please to deliver the presentations.
Okay, thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak. Okay, before I start my presentation, hello again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Afternoon from Indonesia. Selamat siang. Good afternoon, my brother Amitabh. Hello. Thank you so much to Head English Department, Pak Yusuf, and my sister Santiana for having me and invite me here. Also the wonderful moderator Tahtania Gregita. Cantik sekali. Thank you so much for reading my or introduce my profile. Well, Very interesting our topic today. We are talking about the storytelling that storytelling, this is a very important one because the storytelling, when we can share our story, it will be we are having our 20% skill, namely communication. Unfortunately, by this morning, I am going to the elementary school and I have puppet because most of them, they are not have a smartphone. So this is, I think, the basic foundation to share ideas without smartphone. I think this is not digitally, but the fact that we find in this elementary school, mostly the students, they are cannot or don't know how to sharing their story even in the simple story itself. So yeah, this is the big problem. And then I think that this is related to the, we know that our country, we are in the low about literacy skill. And then, this is storytelling, write story, share story, whatever this is about, we are sharing our experience, our life. This is difficult for starting with the elementary school. But today, I know our audience, this is undergraduate student from Siliwangi. And then today we are going to discuss about the digital storytelling itself, and then what tool or the best tool to creating our digital storytelling. Because our topic digital, of course, we are going to create our storytelling, designing our story in digitally. So many tools or technology we can designing our storytelling, our story. But before that, I want to share to you about this topic before we are entering or going to share our story itself. This is in digitally or not digital format. So my topic today about unleashing a meta-learning approach assisted virtual reality in building up the story. Today, before we are entering our virtual reality itself, let me share to you about the education itself. Why right now we must change the way we are teaching, we change the way we are learning, because the condition today, we are going to be digital. Everything right now going to be digital. So that's why we have to training ourselves to know, to identify what kind of the good technology to supporting our classroom into the fun classroom, happy classroom, and then the student can be enjoy our material. This is a little bit about the right now, before we are going to the meta learning. Why this is the meta learning very important for us as a teacher, as educator, and also for you as a student, because you know, for the next, mostly you must be having and know, or you can identify what kind of the tools and the technology that supporting your skill. Let me share to you about the digital transformation in education. I know that you know all of this about artificial intelligence, and also, but today, a part of artificial intelligence virtual reality will be going to designing our story over there. So we understanding about remote teaching, virtual classroom, distance education, we should be also be adapt with this information communication technology culture. So the meta learning itself, this is related to the metacognition, meta-comprehensive, and then how we are having our meta learning itself, because to know and to identify the right action, the right activities, and the right technology, we must have this the meta learning itself. So to manage our classroom into the smart digital classroom management, yeah, we having right now about the we must know about the triple quantum learning, quantum teaching, and then quantum technology. This is the triple quantum, very important. You know that today, yeah, I believe that all of you are the student, you are the Gen Z, you are born digital, you are different with my era. Our era, we don't have internet, we don't have smartphone. Yeah, even we have internet, but all the information in the internet still a few, not like today. So this is a very important. The quantum learning, quantum teaching, the way we are learning, the way we are teaching, we must change. Everything going to be digital, everything right now, mobility by technology and everything. So cybergogy, this is one of the theory, because right now we are going to designing our storytelling into the virtual reality, or we are use the technology itself. So the cybergogy, this is not about the pedagogy and the technology itself, but also how we are supporting our student, the metacognitive skill or the meta learning itself, or meta comprehension, yeah, or this is related to the when we are going to doing creativity or doing innovation related to the 21st century skill or the Bloom taxonomy. This is covered to higher order thinking skill. So this is very important. So today we are in the 5 industrial revolution, the harmony between human and machine. We are having our harmony right now, and after COVID-19, we familiar with this the technology. We can use our classroom. We can be practice our classroom by blended or hybrid learning environment. So before we are entering what is actually the meta learning itself, the meta learning is a process by which students proactively construct and control their own mental model of the learning process. So we know the problem in maybe this is for teacher or educator that actually we low to having this our competence, how to connect it between our material with the technology itself. So we understanding about meta learning itself, this is information technology innovation, that this is emphasized with the development of skill and strategy to facilitate the learning process. So this is supporting with literacy skill and also the modern teaching model. This is covering when you are having your new teaching model, you are having your novelty in you designing your interaction in the classroom. I think we are educators, we have this meta learning, and also for the student, because you are also going to be digital, you know what kind of the tools or the technology can be help your learning more fast, and you can be accelerated all of them to manage your time, to manage your learning itself, to get the learning outcome. There are many tools for learning. I hope you can be identify what kind of in these tools to supporting our story to tell to share our story. For example, Pinterest. If you having your Pinterest account, I think Pinterest also good application or good technology to having or to creating our story. But this is, I think, this is for the simple simple design. What about the Facebook? Having you can you sometime we are actually watching this the people their daily activity, their daily life, like an actress in Instagram, for example. I think they are still to us their story, even this is related to their daily story. So we know what happened with Nikita Mirsani like today, yeah, and so many history that we can be also having by the digitally. But all of this not supporting for digital storytelling. Only some of, like YouTube, we can designing our story by YouTube, by video, and we upload it into the YouTube or into the Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram. Now, the storytelling itself, in when we are wanted to convergent in the digital storytelling in education, that we must having supporting with our digital device like computer, and you have also some of the application like maybe today we are going to practice our virtual reality. We having the audio, we can be record our voice, something like that. So the storytelling that I mentioned before, this is actually promote the 21st century skill. Like a cultural literacy, we can also share our culture from Indonesia, India, Taiwan, or Philippines, and many countries. And this is also having information. So we having some of the information based on the storytelling itself. So I'm very interested with the question from Bapak Satang that asking, this is what about the storytelling itself, because I'm not English teacher. Actually, the storytelling, this is related to everything, that this is the process to telling our story, whatever our story, our experience, our happiness, our classroom. So many that we can be shared as a story, not only about the fable itself. Maybe for fable, this is good for the elementary school, or maybe we are in the junior or senior high school, or maybe we are have our subject like in education, language education, we having the material about culture, for example. So this is the digital storytelling process, like our keynote speaker before, they tell us about we should be having good narrative. Yeah, we must building up our story in good structure. So before we are share our story, we must know our audience, who will be watching our or listening our story. This is for the example. Before you are designing, maybe you will share your story in the novel, for example. Right now so many novel tune, good novel, so many application that supporting you to share your story, and then you getting money by digitally. Yeah. Good novel, manga, by comic. You can designing also your story by comic. You can use Canva and then designing your comic there, and you share in manga tune, comic tune, so many. You can produce money when you are having this skill. That actually this is a very good skill. The second one, conduct research and locate for evidence. Yeah, we must know that about when we are identify our audience, we know our audience. So what makes our story will interesting to watching, or the people can be engaged with our story itself. And then you can create your script. Yeah, maybe the script about you having your story about, maybe this is about your campus or your daily activities that you can be shared to the world, what you're doing, what is your creativity, many more that we can be shared. And we can collect resource and create. Yeah, of course, because we are talking about digital, so everything the resource going to digitally, like camera, and then you can have maybe your smartphone. I think right now mostly the student having good smartphone and having a good feature in the smartphone. They can be having many applications to supporting and creating their story, like CapCut or in TikTok, something like that. And then provide feedback and revise. Yeah, this is maybe when we are sharing our story, you active the comment or the chat, like in good novel. If you always read good novel or comic tune, this is they have a chat box that you can be having your feedback from your audience. Share work and celebrate effort. Yeah, maybe, yeah, of course you will get money if you are playing with some of the application to share your story. So let's have a look what makes a good story read. Yeah, maybe this is the first one, a dramatic content, write rhythmic prose, create memorable character. Yeah, the character, this is very important. In fable, maybe we are familiar with the character like the monkey and the Lion King, maybe something like that. This is memorable. And also we can create our character there. Make each part effective, define plot with subplot, make dialogue count or simple count, because you know a short story or long story we can be also manage with this criteria. Add immersive setting, include conflict. Yeah, I think the conflict, this is a very important also to make our story yeah, more interesting. Write great beginner, give satisfying ending. So the any form of storytelling, yeah, this is character setting, plot, conflict, and your conclusion, or how the character overcome the challenge. So some of this about the storytelling itself, you can sharing about your experience and also your marketing. I know the student right now very creative. They are also having their e-commerce. You are having your market by yourself. You sell and you buy, and you have your virtual shop. Yeah, so this is for the marketing. This is also we can share our product over there by good story. So the storytelling, yeah, this is must creative, the content interesting. Also this is related to the history. Yeah, like the fable, yeah, many fable in Indonesia that we can be share about your experience, communication, about your emotion and all. So this is the example of the web tool that can help you to write your story, like storyboard, Simmer Twin, Storyboard, Domo Animate, Sybill. This is for fable, yeah, like animal fable. So this is the example of the story. This is still by using a picture. This is also some of them. There are many. Actually, there are 35 application that actually you can use to write your story. For example, today I will write, I will share to you one of them before we are entering virtual reality. Why virtual reality very interesting? Why this is different? So I will share to you one of them. Wait. How to use this just sharing one of them before we are entering our virtual reality itself, because our big topic virtual reality. So this is the example. Of course, when you wanted to entering a new application, you must logging. I know you you're logging. This is the for example elementary. How to spell elementary? So this is the example. If you wanted to write your story, you just click like this. And then this is the example. Blank, you can choose blank, for example. This is blank. So many here, the picture like background. You can choose your background. So many background. Maybe what is the good? I don't know what kind of your background you wanted to share your story. That's why we should be having our script before we are entering or use the application. Use this technology like the beach, for example. Maybe we can use one of them. For example, and then you share. Also, you can choose your character. This is the example. Character. Sorry. This is the character. You just click here. Animation. This is maybe for animation. Shape. This is for the dialogue. Ini biasa like this. You can edit something like that. Your story, your and the next, this is the example, the text. You can write your text and blah blah blah. This is to having your story, just for example. This is one of that I shared from the slide. So we come back to our slide. I shared namely elementary. I have shared my PPT to Ma'am Santiana, so you can also explore all of them. What kind of the application is good for you. This is just example, some example. So right now we are going to designing our digital storytelling through virtual reality. Actually, I have shared to you the code to joining. Wait. I will share it again. The virtual reality itself. I open. Like this. Actually, this is the virtual reality. The content of the virtual reality itself, they are having so many stories here that actually the people write and then upload it into this virtual reality. You can also share your story here, like this one, a fable, for example. You can also use this if you wanted to creating your material like this. Sorry. Why this is virtual reality? Because you see the difference between another application and then the virtual reality itself. We have this application. This is, I think, very interesting for the student. You can create your story here. This is the example by people doing, and now how you create your story here also. Wait. Yeah. If you're entering, you come back to here like this one. Tidak kecepatan ini ya. Sorry ya. So this is the example, the blank. You can choose also the environment, same with the other. We choose the environment, like this, or another. Maybe we choose apa ya? What do you want? Like this. So we can choose our background environment like this. And then you can input, wait, yeah. Sorry. You can input your character, like I want to use this. Your character, maybe animal. You have rabbit.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Muthmainnah.
Ya, dikit lagi ya.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Dikit lagi. Okay, this is the example. If you wanted to creating your designing your story over there, and I wanna also share a little bit my student project after they are creating their story itself. A little bit, dikit lagi ya. Nah, ini my student. They are, I think, their story. They are telling their story in this virtual reality. You can playing like this. This is the dialogue, the character. You can, moving out, and you can setting regarding your concept over there. So come back to our PPT, the last before we closing. Yeah. This is in the virtual reality. This is the link. You can buy this the premium. Yeah, this is very good. So this is the example of my class when we are use this virtual reality. You see that they are watching them, and then they are creating their new story after they are playing with the virtual reality. So thank you for having me and listening to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much for really great presentations. That's really inspired a lot. Okay, now we come to the questions and answer sessions. We already have Acep Gafar Aulia already raised the hands. Please unmute your microphone and deliver your questions, please.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tania, the moderator, for giving me the opportunity to ask. And selamat, what is the term there? I mean, selamat sore, Bu Muthmainnah.
Oh, sore, udah sore.
Oh, sorry, selamat siang. Sorry.
Okay, sore.
My name is Acep Gafar Aulia. I'm the alumni of UNSIL, but now I'm studying at Monash University in Australia. So I have two questions. Can I ask the questions here?
Ya, boleh.
Or it should be one? All right. So the first question is that you have provide us with many tools and websites to make or to create our digital storytelling. But my concern here is because now the security or the cyber security or data security is becoming an issue, a rising issue in using digital technology in this era. So, I mean, how can we as teachers make sure which website is safe to use for our students? Because I can't guarantee that all of the websites that you have provided here is kind of safe to use for our students. Like so many problems, I mean, so many issues arising like cybersecurity or maybe like the data, even like how can we keep our students' data safe and to not be used in a like in proper way by the administrator of the website itself. And the second question is about the learning, teaching and learning activities itself. And it's also kind of thing that I need to criticize about using technology in the classroom, because sometimes we always assume that all of the students in this generation, like Gen Z, having high skill in technology, whereas in fact, not all students are good in using technology. So about the teaching itself, like should we also teach how to use the tool, or like if we decide to choose to bring the method of using the tool to the classroom, so how can we monitor it so that the language learning still takes place? I mean, here, if I try to bring one technology in the classroom, for example, like one website to the classroom, when we try to explain it to our student, we tend to use our first language instead of English, right? Because it, I mean, to make it easier. So
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's too
So
long.
we have a limited time.
I mean,
I got it.
Muthmainnah got the question. Okay, thank you so much.
Langsung saya jawab, Tanya.
Yes, please, Dr.
Okay. About the cybersecurity, this is you are right. But as educator, before we are apply or treatment this technology in the classroom, of course, we do by ourselves. If this is okay, if this is safety for the student, you can go ahead. For example, in my class, I use virtual reality. I think this is safety for the student. They can be designing their story over there. But remember, to designing the story itself, not we are giving or having our instruction. We are entering in the first meeting. Hey, student, this is virtual reality. You write your story and then bye-bye. No, step by step, darling, step by step. In the first meeting, we are introduced about the theory itself, about the story, what is actually the story, how we can get our ideas about our story before we are write. And then they can be doing collaboration to writing the script, something like that. I think that we having some week before we are entering them into a digitally, their story into digitally. Like in my classroom, in 7 meeting, we just entering the virtual reality that you see before. We are introduce them about the virtual reality itself. They know the concept of the ideas. They know the concept of the story, how they can be create their story in simple and interesting story. They can be choose their script, they choose their character and so many. Not in the first meeting. In 7 and 8 meeting, they are entering their virtual reality. Then you see the student creativity with this virtual reality itself. So about the activities in the classroom that you know, I know you are actually born in this digital era. Of course, most of the technology you don't know what kind of the technology good for my maybe for my writing or chatting or writing or reading or something like that. So that's why the educator, this is the role of your teacher, your educator. They must know before they are practically in your classroom. Like before my class, before when they wanted to having their practice to introducing themselves, I give my student artificial intelligence. So yeah, they are practice. Yeah, we know that they don't know this technology, but this is a very important to introduce the technology right now because this is for their future career. In the classroom, I know that maybe all of us, we are agree, education, this is the holistic process, not about transfer knowledge, not about I'm teaching grammar, my role as a teacher or a lecturer, fine, and then I'm not teach my student with another skill. No, no, no. We are as educators, we teaching them with English, we teach them about the 21st century skill, doing collaboration in the classroom. Like you see my class, they are doing collaboration with their team, watching the virtual reality. They know the concept of the story before they are also going to creating and designing the story by themselves. Yeah, they are having the critical thinking. They are doing criticize and they are doing creativity and innovation. So after that, not only, you know, we are educators, we have so many responsibility. Not only teaching you about having you the material, but also about your attitude, your behavior, your value, your moral, your ethic. So many that we must also practically in the classroom. So that's why as educator, we must designing our interaction in the classroom with elegant and excellent way, because to achieve the learning outcome, this is the very important thing. And remember, the most important, yeah, we know we are our department, English department, but teaching English for them, this is not only the one our responsibility. We have so many. So that's why we must identify our student character, their student learning style, their student what they need, what they want. Like in my classroom, Mom, we don't like you teaching with us with grammar. We are very anxiety when you teach us by this grammar, but we giving their grammar by film, for example. Have you ever seen Mr. Bean film movie? You can now Googling to YouTube. Yeah, because I have practiced this. Present continuous with Mr. Bean. Even the Mr. Bean not doing communication in this film, because this is how to say, this film just only they are showing their action and then they have in the script, this is present continuous, this is blah blah blah. So automatically they are learning grammar without we give them this is the formula, you must plus in blah blah blah. Oh, this is the all or conventional method. So that's why right now why we are having this technology, but remember you must choose. Now this is the problem or the challenge right now in Indonesian teacher or educator. They are difficult to identify or to connect it. What kind of this my material, how to connect it their material with the technology. For example, teaching grammar, you can use Mr. Bean film, for example, or you can use artificial intelligence. So that's why we must be having our good design in lesson plan before we are practically everything in the classroom. So we know, oh, in the first meeting, I chunking them with the, because this is introduction, or they cannot be doing chatting, introducing themselves and their friend by artificial intelligence, for example. Or describing place, they can be having also their virtual reality. Oh, I wanna have.
All right, Dr.
Yeah,
Muthmainnah.
so many. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope you got it what I mean. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for your question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Muthmainnah, for a really great answer. How about the answer? Is that clear enough, Mr. Acep? Okay. So, okay, thank you so much for Dr. Muthmainnah for really great presentations. As an appreciation for the keynote speaker, we present the certificate for Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd from University of Al-Asyariah, Mandar, Indonesia, and Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi from Shri Vaishno Devi University, Katra, India, as the keynote speakers in international webinar on digital storytelling. Here is the certificate of Dr. Amitabh and Dr. Muthmainnah. Thank you once again. Really glad to having both of you in this webinar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now back to the Master of Ceremony, Ms. Rizka Amelia, please.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Tahtania, for guiding the presentation and discussion sessions. It's such an intriguing session. And also thank you very much for the excellent and insightful presentation, Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd. We give our highest honor to all the keynote speakers for their insightful contributions, Dr. Amitabh Vikram Dwivedi and also Dr. Muthmainnah M.Pd. Thank you very much, sir and ma'am. And also thank you, Dr. Sybill, Krizzia, Gabronino, Ledesma, for joining our webinar today. Now, we are going to the next agenda, which is group presentation. There are 4 groups that are going to present their topics. So this session will also be guided by the moderator, the Ms. Tahtania, please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now back again to this webinar. Okay, so this session, we have 4 groups for presentation for today. All right, before the presentation begin, let me inform how the presentations will be going on. The group presentation will deliver the material for 25 minutes each group. And the second, there will be question and answer sessions for 10 minutes after all the group presentations already delivered the material. Every participant can drop the questions in the chat box, and don't forget to mention your name, affiliation, and questions is addressed. Or you can directly ask the question to the speaker by using raise hand feature. And I want to inform you about the attendance. The attendance will be shared tomorrow. Okay, so stay tuned in our webinar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first group presentation, the presenters are the first Edward Muzaffar Gifar, second one is Lutfia Zahran, the third one is Siti Amelia Fitri, entitled Creating and Engaging Digitalized Narrative Story Using Movely. The group presentation, please, to deliver the presentations.
All right, thank you so much for the chance to present our material. Could you share our slide, please? All right. Shall we go to the first page? Nah, there it is. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are pleased to welcome you in our presentation. We are from Group 3 in DST. But before we continue any further, let me introduce myself. My name is Edward Dwivedi, and then there is another member, which is Lutfia Zahran and Siti Amelia Fitri. All right, perhaps we can move on to the main material. Next slide, please. Table of contents. First, there are theories of learning. 2, application of theory or practice. 3, critical reflection on theory and practice. And 4, conclusion. And the 5 are the references. Next slide, please. All right, we shall begin with the theories of learning. But first, we're supposed to know first what is the application we are using, which is Movely. What is Movely? Movely Studio is a powerful cloud-based video editor that works within your web browser, which means downloading is not required for this app. And there is no need for software plugin or installation, as I said before. And you never have to update your application. Access and edit your video project from any computer at home, work, or school anytime. And what the expert says about it? According to Shannon Cox in 2022, Movely is one of the best educational animation tools for creating videos easily by the teachers and students, whether delivering presentation or classroom assignment, or school marketing or video journalism. Movely helps in creating the best animation for educator purposes. Next slide, please. What is the application or tool? Movely is an online platform where users can create and edit their video content. This solution offers plenty of features, including a selection of editing tools such as audio editing or frame editing, free graphics where we can pick our images from the application, background music and sounds to support the mood of the story, and collaborative sharing features. The beauty of using online cloud-based solution is that there is no need to download anything, which means Movely won't take up space on your device. How convenient. Next slide, please. Why do you choose the tool? Well, why do you choose the tool? The first reason is easy to access for the commoners. And second, in the Movely libraries contains millions and millions of royalty-free media objects you can use to create video. Movely using it online, that is cloud-based solution. Next slide, please. What are the objectives of application tool? The first objective is this video creator for making advertisement, and then we can use Movely to generate training, instructional videos for both for teachers and students. People who have profession and interested in pouring their ideas into 3D animation or 2D animation, such as animator, musician, and directors. And also people who have interest in making video animation. Well, that's all from me. We're moving on to the next member.
All right. So now I will explain about how Movely works or the feasibility of Movely. So yeah, as Edward said before, that Movely is a cloud-based video editor that will work within using the website browser. So yeah, Movely works when including the first one is online network and the second one is online websites. So because of Movely is an online website, so we need to look for it on Google search, and then because this can access online, we need to have a good internet connection, because if we had a bad internet connection, that will hinder us while using this application. All right. Next is about the step by step in using Moodle. So this section will be explained on the video.
So the first step is type Moodle in Google and click on the Moodle link that has this emblem. If this is your first time using Moodle, you must first register an account, and because I have already registered, a Go to Dashboard button will appear here. And so the first step is type Moodle in Google and click on the Moodle link that has this emblem. If this is your first time using Moodle, you must first register an account, and because I have already registered, a Go to Dashboard button will appear here. And here, if you want to create a new project, then click a Create Project button and you will be given 3 choices. Then click the New Project button, and this is the button you select when you want to launch a fresh project. This opens a new window inside the Moodle's editor. After that, here you can choose the ratio canvas you need. Then click the Create Project below. And now we enter the new window, and there are a few critical sections inside of Moodle's editor. And this is a toolbar. It contains tools and commands for the active tool that are commonly used to complete a workflow. And the next is the personal library. Here you can upload anything you need for your project. And now let's move to the graphic, or we can call it properties that is over here. You can use all of this, but actually there are some properties that you need to pay, but there are also the properties that are free for you to use. And this is the canvas. The canvas is the blank paper here, and you can put your project or your animation here. And under the canvas, there is the timeline. The timeline is the area of a video editing application or website where you arrange your video clips and map out all the edits you'd like to apply. Alright, I think that's it about how to use Moodle. Now I will show you the result of our editing by using Moodle. Enjoy! Alright, that's all for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lutfia, for the excellent presentation. Excellent presentation. Yes, and tutorial and stuff like this are very important for those who have an acquaintance to the application like this, and for all the newbies out there who would like to try this Moodle application, can You can see tutorials just like what Lucia did before. Okay, all right, moving on to the next material will be presented by Siti Amelia Fitri. Siti Amelia Fitri, please.
Okay, thank you. Now I will explain about the advantages of the tool. One of the biggest advantages of using Movely is its simple interface. It won't take long to get to grips with their dashboard. Overall, the layout is relatively straightforward. The menus are simple and located precisely where you'd expect them to be, which makes Movely features very easy to access. Plus, there's a simple tutorial located under the help button. If you are unclear about anything, this is where you should find the answers to your question. Movely offers you a small selection of templates to help you kick things off. When you click one, you can review the video clips. You can also start editing the template immediately. And next, one of Movely's more significant perk is the fact they offer a vast library of motion graphics, stock imagery, and videos. In particular, Movely's clip art selection is excellent, and the last one is Movely works seamlessly inside your internet browser. Next slide. Next, I will explain about the disadvantages of the tool. The most significant disadvantage to Movely is that in comparison to their competitors, they offer a relatively small selection of video templates, around 50. And if your internet connection is slow, the good interface may be quite slow. And the last one is there is still an error when uploading elements to the project. Next slide, please. And next, I will explain about how does it support language learning. Movely is an online platform that allows users to create multimedia content such as videos, presentation, and animation. While Movely was not specifically designed for language learning, it can support language learning in a number of ways, such as the first one is visual aids. Movely allows users to create videos and animation that can include visual aids to help learners understand concepts more easily. For example, a language teacher could create an animation that illustrates the use of preposition. And the next one is interactive content. Movely also allows users to create interactive content such as quizzes and games that can help learners practice their language skills. For example, a teacher could create a quiz that asks students to match a list of words to their definition or to choose the correct verb from in a sentence. Next is authentic material. Movely allows users to create content using their own images, videos, and audio recordings, which can be particularly helpful for language learners who want to practice listening and speaking skills. For example, language learner could create a video such as interviews, clips, or TV shows. And the last one is collaborative learning. Movely also supports collaborative learning for language learners who want to practice their communication skills. For example, students could work together to create a video that summarizes a story in class, or to create a presentation that explains a grammar rule. So overall, Movely can be useful for language learners and educators who want to create engaging and interactive language learning materials. Next slide. So the last one that I will explain is the conclusion. So Movely is a website-based cloud video editor that can help some people to create videos like advertisement and animation. There are lots of advantages of this website, one of which is that it provides millions of royalty-free media objects that you can use to make videos. This website presents a modern design and tools that are easy and comfortable for its users. Movely is also useful for various groups who have a profession and people who are interested in making animation. On the other hand, Movely is an online website that that can only be used if your computer is connected to a stable internet network. Even so, you can use Movie anywhere and anytime because you don't need to update or install any application. So that's all from my explanation. I will give it back to the moderator.
All right, thank you, Siti Amelia Fitri, for the excellent presentation. And since our group have finished our presentation, maybe we can move on to the next session, which is question and answer session.
Thank you to the group one who already deliver your presentations. That's really great and interesting presentations. We will was that in the end of all the presentations already delivered the presentations. We will do questions and answer sessions. Okay, we move to the second group presentation. We have Anissa Hasnana Diva, Regina Cahaya Putri, David Naufal Muzaki, and then Nessa Safitri, entitled Digital Technology, Creating Ideas Through the Plotagon Story. Okay, for the group two, get ready for your presentation. For Anissa Hasnana Diva, Regina Cahaya Putri, David Naufal Muzaki, and the last one Nessa Safitri, please to deliver your presentation. Please to turn on your camera and also unmute your microphone.
Okay, thanks to the moderator for giving me this time. Alright, I'm here as the first presenter. Next slide. First, I'll explain the role of digital story in EFL. Next slide. Okay, digital story. According to Bemanuel 2008, digital storytelling is a short multimedia story that combines voice, image, and music. A pedagogical tool to enhance student learning meaning making. During the process of creating and sharing the digital stories, students engage in self-reflexivity and demonstrate the ability to apply theories and of student development to their personal experience. Findings have implications for educators concerned with assisting students in making meaning of theories and in connecting theory to practice. Next slide. Benefit of digital stories. Digital stories is considered an effective pedagogical tool that increases students' motivation and provides students. The findings of this action research demonstrate the effectiveness of using Plotagon to improve students' writing skills while creating digital stories. In this research, student interest and preference and relevance as well as their perception of English. Implementation participants quickly learn how to use Plotagon and work in pairs to write their scripts. It promotes skill in pairs to write their scripts. It promotes social skill and gives each other feedback. Although not everyone has a computer at home, the use of a ECT tool in school can reduce the technological gap between urban and rural areas. The use of Flotagon encourages students to write and help increase students' writing production. It is a useful tool to facilitate learning English. On the other hand, identifying English level allows users to understand their language difficulties and help users to prepare and challenge. Specific teaching activities to enhance English learning. Okay, alright, maybe that's from me. For the next material, we'll be explaining from Regina.
Alright, thanks to moderator who has given me time to explain application of theory to practice. First, what is the application? Flotagon is a digital tool that allows anyone to create a cartoon-style movie with acting and spoken scripting. The key here that what was once a difficult and skill-heavy task is now made super simple so that anyone can start making the storytelling videos. Then, why do you choose the tool? Flotagon is the best tool for storytelling. Animations make the concept clear and help the students memorize for a longer time. Next slide. What are the objectives of the application? The apps enable to communicate stories by creating characters and scenes in which conversation and even physical interaction can happen. Then, how it works? We use Flotagon to enhance the English writing skill. The participant learn quickly how to use Flotagon and work in pairs. Flotagon in pairs to write their script. It promoted social skills and provided each other feedback. Next slide. Step by step, making language learning media by using that application tool. The first, begin the process by tapping create video, decided the first scene and the actors, the characterization, the appearance, the voice of the actor. Next, edit some dialogue and the camera movement, add some interaction, sound effects, and music if necessary. The third, link the first scene to the next scene and type the caption of the animation. Finally, export the project. Your export project will be directed to be saved in your local storage or library. Once you have granted the permission when you install the app. I think that's all from me. I'll give it back to my daughter. The next presenter is David.
Okay, thank you to Regina. Maybe there is a video, a demonstration to use the Flotagon story. Wait.
Sorry, I can hear the audio clear enough.
Tap the icon to enter the Flotagon story. This app is basically a free online animation maker because once we have downloaded it, we also must download some contents of it, whether it is the free one or the purchasable by a membership card. Yeah, here it is. At the first preview of the application, we can see there are 3 buttons on the upper right corner. Those are the notification button, the setting button, and the membership button. Okay, then let's just tap the create video button. Wait, and boom, it will automatically choose the scene. But don't worry, we can re-choose the scene again by tapping the scene name next to the clapperboard icon on the timeline. Yeah, the bathroom one. We can just tap here. Yeah. Note that some scenes are purchasable by membership, but the rest are free to use. And some scenes have an extra, which means some can be added some people in the background, attentive or non-attentive to the actor's dialogue. Like we can use the cover one. Maybe we can use the restaurant. Yeah. No extras button here. If we tap the extras, then there will be someone attentive. Yeah. Okay, next, how to input an actor. See the button so-called no actor below the scene? Yeah, that is. We can just tap the button. And some of the actors that are made by the developer, or we can also make it by ourselves by clicking the create character. We can make male or female actor, adjusting its appearance. White, oh, it is very white. Yeah, we can adjust the appearance to be more interesting. Yeah. Okay, here I have made some characters to be involved in my story. If it is done already, click the actor that will be deployed into the scene. I will choose you, Jamal. There, Jamal. Okay, below the timeline, there are 3 buttons. The filter button. You can choose black and white, sepia, blur, bloom, 70s, and so on. Yeah, and also the movement of the footage. And then there is a 3 dots here. It is used to, to adjust the order of the animation. If we add some scene or the chat or the the dialogue of the actor. Next, the clapperboard is used to add new scenes. Yeah, we can add many scenes here. Yeah, because I used the free trial one. Yeah, it seems that I can use unlimited layer of scene here. Because the free one is on always be limited. Yeah, like this. Okay, let's choose another scene. Okay, the chat bubble here is used to add the actor's dialogue or monologue, or to make to make our actor speak. This can be written or recorded just like dubbed by our recorded voice. But for this I think I will just recommend being dubbed by our own voices. Why? Because if it is written, the voice of the actor seems to be like a Google Assistant, and I don't like it. How to make the actor speak? Yeah, now we can tap the no actor button here and then choose the actor, Jamal. Yeah, clicking the actor and choosing what feeling the actor is speaking. Yeah. While the actor is speaking, we can choose neutral, ironic, irritated, happy, freezing, flirty, afraid, angry, and so on. Yeah, as we can see, yeah, the mimic of the face directly change. Yeah, from here we can see, we can change the POV. It is in dialogue mode, from moving right, moving forward, wide shot, and still. Yeah, we can choose as our preference. Yeah, look at the background. There are some peoples which is not included in the actor, but there are in the background. Why? Because it is the extras. If we choose no extras here, there will be no one. Yeah. And not every scene have extras. Okay. We can also adjust the volume. Let's just type some word here. We can try it.
I'm happy today. I'm happy today.
Oh. As you can hear, the voice is like a Google Assistant, and I don't like it. So that I mostly dub by my own voice by recording this voice from here. Hello, hello, hello. And try hello, hello, hello. Yeah. I guess it will be better for me. Just on our pleasure, yeah. And then the next, there is a lighting button here. This button can be used when there are actors that are nearby. Like this, I will add some actor here. I will add Ceipah. Nah, because Ceipah and Jamal are nearby, yeah, we can add the interaction. Yeah, the lighting button here. From Ceipah to Jamal, we can like high five or handshakes, yeah, like this. Nah, this button. Hello, hello, hello. This button, the interaction button, is only used can only be used when there are two actors nearby. Yeah, and then the next, the bell button here is the sound effect. The sound effect button. Yeah. Firstly, it is only a few sound effect. If only you have downloaded it, approximately about 112. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then the next, the music note button here is used to add some music for the background of the scene. Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that's all. And then the last one, there is a caption button here. This caption button will come. This caption button, I prefer it for the epilogue, for the prologue, and also the transition between scenes. Yeah, we can just add it to the first line and like this. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. If we have done, and then on the right upper corner is the export button, and then your project will be automatically saved into the gallery if only you have given permission to the Protagon Story to access your gallery. Save video, whether you want to export with subtitles or without subtitles. Save it. Rendering. The rendering time will vary, depends on the device you are using. And then that's all for the simple guide about how to plot a gun story. Thanks for your nice attention. If you find this video helpful and beneficial, leave me a feedback, and until next time.
On a shiny Monday morning.
What time is it? Wait, what day is today? Isn't it Monday? Oh my god. I have a class today. I should be get going now.
Jamal went to the class, but as he arrived there,
Hold up. Where are the other? Where are my friends? Is it dismissed already? I shouldn't have slept too late last night. I'll be better going home now. Yeah, whatever.
he went home like nothing happened. As well as his class has been dismissed already.
Okay, thank you for watching. And then the next, the critical and reflection on the theory and practice. The advantage of the tool, the first, this Plotagon story can be downloaded for free. Because this is basically a free tool, unless if you want to get some extra content from it, and then we must buy some membership from it. And then the second, it is easy to apply. Because if we are already familiar like in Shoot or maybe like CapCut, it will be not so far from that. And then the third, no need to spend a long time. And the fourth, Plotagon graphics are more realistic than the other apps. And the fifth, there is a subtitle feature, which will make the listener or the viewer helpful. And then the next, the disadvantage of the tool. The first, it is weird to use Indonesian dialect. If we don't change the voice origin from the character we have made, it will be weird. Unless if we have changed it first from that the origin character's voice is Indonesian and we dub it with Indonesian voice, it will be better, not very weird. And the second, only the character voice is only limited, because I think it is better to dub it by our voice. And then the third, there are no animal characters, yeah. As you have seen just now, that those are only men and women. Yeah. And then the fourth, looks a bit stiff if there is a movement at the same time. And then last, how does the application support language learning? Yeah. As well as we know that this application can facilitate educators and students in following the teaching and learning process. Why? Because the character we have made, it will come to life. It will come to life, and within the emotion and the animation, it will make their own like type to speech voices will be very easy to be memorized by children. Yeah. And then this tool also is ideal for the children age 8 and above. Maybe that's all from me. I will give the occasion to Nesa Safitri. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to continue the material from our group. Okay, we can see here, so this is the conclusion. Plotagon Story is a great tool that can help teachers teach languages
in an easy way using digital storytelling. And despite its drawbacks, it can still help teachers teach languages using digital storytelling easily and effectively. Prospective Story is a digital media that can be used in learning speaking skills. This platform is an application that is capable of creating animated films from any scenario or chapter. And even the author can process the film in detail, starting from the dialogue and animation display and other aspects. This application can be accessed using a laptop, PC, or smartphone, which can be used to create learning material so that it is very easy to carry anywhere. From the previous material, we already know the advantages and disadvantages of this application. Even though this application has several shortcomings, this will not destroy your to make animations in the Prospective Story application properly. Because in this application, we only need intention and effort to use it in a good and right way. And we already know the advantages and benefits, such as can be downloaded for free, easy to apply, no need to spend a long time, Prospective graphics are more realistic than other applications, and there is subtitle feature. Of course, it is very useful for us to learn too. The findings of this action research demonstrate the effectiveness of using Prospective to improve students' writing skill through creating digital stories. In this research, students' interests and preferences are relevant, as well as their perception of English. Therefore, Prospective stories have tremendous benefits for the application of digital storytelling. I think that's all I can explain about the conclusion. I'll give it back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the group too for really great presentations. That's really informative. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the questions and answer sessions. All the participants can drop the questions in the chat box, or you can ask directly to the presenters by using raise hand features, and also unmute your microphone and also turn on your camera to deliver the questions to the presenters, please. And also for the group one, please turn on your camera and also turn on your microphone. Okay, we still wait for the questions from the participants. All right, we already have one questions in the chat box. I will read it from Assalamualaikum. Okay, so from Iqbal Naufal. I have a question. Will Polygon increase students' creative and imagination skills? This is questions addressed from group 2. Is that right? From the group 2, the question is addressed? Okay, so presenters 2, please answer the questions. Okay, to the presenters too. Anissa Hasnana Diva, Regina Cahaya Putri, David Noval Muzaki, Anessa Safitri, who will be representative to answer the questions.
Student in
Okay, Anissa, please. Okay, we have Zaki Ahmad who responds.
skills.
Sorry, your voice is not clear. You're freezing now. Okay, so we have Zaki who wants to ask the questions. Please, Zaki, to turn on your microphone.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, can you hear my voice? Hello?
Okay, I can hear your voice clearly.
Okay. So I have a question for the first group. And the question is, how does 3D animation works for musicians? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zaki, for the questions. The question is addressed for presenter 2. Presenter 1, sorry. Okay, how about Anissa? So already have a good connections for answering the questions from Mr. Iqbal Naufal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't have much time for questions and answer sessions, maybe we can try again after all the presenters already delivered the presentation. Okay, before we moving on to the next sessions, I would like to say thank you so much for Group 1 and Group 2 who already delivered the presentation. That's great presentations. Okay, so before we moving on to the next group presentations, please enjoy first the video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the third group presentations. All right, the presenters are Nazla Nadima, Alda Nurhayati Herdianto, Muhammad Mukhlas Nurfaiz. Oh, I'm so sorry. So the third group presentation, the presenters are Alia Ardelia, Muhammad Ali Vito, Sasita Nazwa Azahra, and the last one, Rezki Ardiansyah Putra, entitled Creating Digital Storytelling by Using Toontastic. So to the group third, please deliver the presentations.
Firstly, I would like to ask, is my voice clear? Right, thank you. All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from this group. We would like to listen to you guys here about creating digital storytelling using Toontastic. Okay, the first I would like to introduce our members from our groups. The first is me myself. I'm Rezki Ardiansyah Putra, and the second is we have Al-Asyariah, and the third we have Muhammad Ali Vito, and the last one we have Sasita as well. All right, let's see what we would like to present here. We would like to start from the introduction. All right, start from the introduction, and we have the second we have a theory and academic perspective about the application itself, and the third one, the third one is application and of theory to practice, and the last one we have a critical reflection and theory and practice. Okay, let's move to the introduction first. Firstly, we would sometimes be asking a question: what is Toontastic itself? The first is, what is Toontastic? Toontastic is a mobile application that developed by Google to make a digital storytelling. It's 3D character, and it's all works offline and also available in the Android platform and iOS platform. And also, the Toontastic itself is could be set in offline situation, so it's no need to use mobile data or internet to operate it. So it doesn't matter whether you are in a remote area and you don't have connection, but you want teach digital storytelling without internet. Is Toontastic could be asked. And okay, let's move about the expert says about this one. Okay, according to Russell in 2010, Toontastic is a collaborative digital animation creator that bridges a gap between the game and more formal methods of storytelling. It's, yeah, as you know that in digital storytelling we hold about the constructivism principle in the way of learning, of course, and then is a constructive tool and decide to capture and share our story of the world itself. And that's about Russell in this theory. And also Sam and Hsung stated that with Toontastic 3D, children can draw, animate, and narrate their own adventure, news stories, school report, and anything else that may dream of. And yes, this is could be flexible, but everything asset is pre-made, but we can design our own character in Toontastic itself. Okay, let's move to the theory and academical perspective side about the Toontastic itself. Okay, the Toontastic has been used for in many research before about the pedagogical evaluation model in digital storytelling using the evaluation model for digital storytelling, and that's was based on aspect main social constructivity, as I said before. We hold about the constructivism learning style in here, based on Piaget and Werner and Vygotsky. And also, it is about the way how the students would be interacted with the teacher itself, and about the it could increase their own cognitive skills. And with the Tuntastic itself can be used for collaborative media learning, as we can see that the Tuntastic is it could be using the digital storytelling, and it could be collaborative learning with the other children in same place, and also it works offline itself. And also it could develop language, the competence of language. This is as we can see for EFL students, or the teacher itself. We can use this tool as for helping developing their language competence, especially for speaking skill. In here, we can underline it about the speaking skill itself. They could be able to speak. They can do about practice about their competence in telling story using this Tuntastic, and giving them space for their creative way to explore their competence. All right. The next material will be delivered by Sasita, which is the application theory to practice. Time is yours.
Thank you, Rizky. The next material is application of theory to practice. Rationalization using Tuntastic has been widely used for educational purposes, such as the first is Tuntastic. Tuntastic has been used for digital storytelling in formal education. Next is it could improve students' speaking and social collaboration competencies and language in EFL classrooms. It has been proven as a practical creation tool for online learning evolutions. Next slide, please. The Tuntastic objective, the aim of the software that underlines its theoretical background is to provide children with opportunities to outline their internal representations and convert them to external with visual and physical representations, so that the children are able to debug and rebuild their mental models. Next. For step-by-step using Tuntastic has been delivered by Alia.
Thank you, Shashita. So I will explain step by step using Tuntastic, application of theory to practice. First, you begin the process by picking a story organizer. Choices include short story with 3 scenes, classic story with 5 scenes, and science report. Next, you guide through the design of each scene. You move the character in the scene by tapping on the screen and adding your voice track for each. And the last one, your finished cartoons can be saved locally in app or on the device. You can export them to your device's photo app or library. The detail will be demonstration by a video about how to use Tuntastic for making a story. Share the video, please.
I'm so sorry, group. I can hear your voice. I can hear the audio.
Button. Then you get to select which type of story you want to create. There are some brilliant ones. I think the classic story Mountain is probably the best one to really get into depth of telling a story. Again, you are a new one. You might want to start with a short story. So I will show you short story just for today, just so it's nice and easy. So when you get to your short story, it will show you the story mountain, and you will need to plan each of these features in your story. So beginning, middle, and end in this very simple. The beginning, where you introduce. So you hit on the beginning, and it will give you a video clip. So introducing the character and setting, and then it allows you to pick from their interactive setting scenes. I'm going to start my story today in a classroom. So I have this interactive scene, and then it gives me a selection of character that I can use in this story. I'm going to place here and here. Also, if you want to be more creative, you can draw your own character and give them a name for your own character. Alright, there we go. Then I press on this next button and it will drop the character into the scene. I can move this character around for where I want their starting places to be. If I just swipe around the screen, you can see that it's quite a large scene. Many parts of the scene are interactive. So when you press this on like this, the skeleton is dancing, and you can press this and it gives different picture. So let's start the story. When I'm ready, I press start. It will give me a countdown, and then it will record my voice into the actual story. Hey Aiden, how is it going? I've got something to tell you. We'll have to wait till class over, but I found something amazing. And then the teacher said, "Children, sit down. Class is about to begin." And they say, "Yes, ma'am." Hey Aiden, how is it going? I've got something to tell you. We'll have to wait till class over, but I found something amazing. And then the teacher said, "Children." You can add the background music, whatever you want. Confident, loving, spook. Just choose whatever you want for your story. And then, after you finish your beginning of your story, you can continue the middle and the end. And this app is so brilliant is that they can each have a different mood, a different soundtrack in the background, and then this app will put them together for you. It will allow you to name the villain, put in your director's name, and it will build it into your own mini film that you can save to your camera roll, that you can stream onto your TV, so you can create your own story animated 3D story, and you can share it with friends and family and play that out for everybody. I really think this is a good one.
Let's go back. And the next part about how does it work will be like as it punishes.
Okay. how does it work? How does the Tuntastic it works? The Tuntastic is a digital storytelling tool that teaches kids how to organize and present story ideas through cartoons. It employs a story art that contains brief sequential scenes to guide story structure, uh, like setup, conflict, challenge, climax, and resolutions. For the next material will be delivered by Muhammad Ali Vito.
Okay, for the critical reflection on theory and practice and its advantage of the tool that is fantastic. The advantage is first, it is free and easy to use, and second, it achieves numerous educational purpose. Storytelling, which question, developing complex sentences, written play, linking ideas, improving syntax, following directions, increasing use of pronouns, verbs, and comprehending special terms. The third, encourage imaginative play. And the fourth, parent or teacher guide on website filled with helpful information and interactive question. And this is the link. And the fifth, this app is exciting, engaging, and motivating for elementary age children. And the sixth, allow students to share stories online. And seventh, unlimited choice to animate even the wildest stories. Next slide, please. And for the disadvantage of this tool is one is hard to record in the groups. Two is mood music overpowers the character's voice, and the third, no pre-planning or brainstorming prior to creating a story. In early stage, kids tend to just create dialogue like boom and pow without a real storyline. Work much better to have kids or students become familiar with this program. Brainstorm and develop their story with a storyboard first, and then have them create it on Fantastic. And fourth, animating the characters and editing needs performance. Kids may find it difficult when they start using the app. And the fifth, no text tools allowed. However, it may be intended for encouraging students to depend on their vocal abilities, but it's still a good tool to be provided in upcoming versions. And six, according to several parents review, the product doesn't fit the recommended age at 8 years. Parents says that it requires 8 year kids and up because it interface it is complicated for kindergarten, and the story structure needs higher abilities than kindergarten ones. And the last, the TuneTube feature isn't available anymore, and that causes big frustration for many kids and their parents. Next slide, please. Okay, how does Fantastic support language learning? First, Fantastic have been proven to improve oral skill, and second, it also have been proven to promote speaking fluency and social collaboration. And the third, also it could improve students' motivation in learning. Next slide, please. Okay, for the conclusion will be delivered by Reski. So I'll give it back to Reski. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I would actually deliver conclusion is Fantastic is a great tool for how teach language easily. Digital storytelling, and despite its weakness, yes, we could use it without editing background or something else like that. And also teach language is using digital storytelling. Yeah, I say it with editing. And also the Fantastic itself can give a way more fun atmosphere towards the learning processes. I think that's all from us. Thank you. This is the references that we use. And yes, let's move to the Q&A station.
Thank you. That's really great presentations from the third group. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the last group presentations. The presenters are Nazla Nadima, Alda Nurhayati Herdianto, Muhammad Mukhlas Nurfaiz Nenoliu, and the last one, Putri Zalia, entitled Channeling Students' Creativity, Developing Animated Media Using the Return. To the group presenters, please to deliver the presentation. All right, to the group, to the last group, please get ready for delivering the presentations. Or you have unstable connection. Okay, let us know if you in trouble in the connections. The committee will help you to share the screen if you have unstable connection. Okay, how about Muhammad Mukhlas, Putri Zalia, and Nazla Nadima? Muhammad Mukhlas, who will share the screen?
I think Nazla, but I think she has a problem.
Okay, so
Mr. Teachers.
okay, we will help you to share the screen. The committee will help you.
All right. Assalamualaikum. Is my voice clear enough?
Yes, it's clear enough.
Yes, I will start. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our team's presentation. I'm Nazla Nadima, and I will be the moderator from this group. Before we begin, I would like to introduce you the presenters. So our presenters today are from Group 8, Doratun. There are Muklas, Putri, Alda, and also me. Today, we will present about channeling student creativity, developing animated media using Doratun. Please, here is the presentation outline. In this presentation, we will describe about theories of learning, application of theory to practice, critical reflection on the theory and practice, and last is conclusion. So without any further ado, let's start the presentation with me as the first presenter. So in this first material is about theories of learning. In this session, the topic EFL learning. Next slide, please. So what is animation in EFL learning? As Effendi has said, animation is a fun and exciting way to enhance the learning process that also boosts the motivation. It not only helps students grasp instructional materials, but it also gives relevant experiences for the teaching and learning process. Also, Muheba has said that animation-based learning video have the benefit being non-boring learning approaches using animations to promote imaginary in grasping material that needs to be transmitted. Animation-based learning videos may help instructor convey material in a way that keeps students engaged in online learning. Now, from these statements about the expert about that animation can be used as a new learning medium, but coming from teachers and students, including storytelling. The benefits, in addition to helping facilitate the explanation of material or stories, the delivery will also be more interesting. And then, what do experts say about it? We will find it easy to make animation for videos or presentations. Animation maker, as Umar said. Based on these research findings by Umar, it can be inferred that in terms of learning semantic courses, after using Doratun Animation Maker-based learning media is more effective over learning semantic courses before using Doratun Animation Maker media. The research also conducted by Fauzia and Ninawati shows that visual or video material based on Doratun that may be utilized as a learning resource even for elementary school children. And that's all from my explanation. The next material will be delivered by Alda. Alda, time is yours.
All right, thank you for the moderator to give me time to explain about the application of theory to practice. Next slide, please. So in here, what is Doratun? So Doratun is the best animation software to create awesome and a very interesting animation video. It also has an amazing features that supports creating animated characters. It was launched in 2015 and over the years has amassed over 1 million active users in over 160 countries. The platform offers millions of royalty-free animation, templates, background, image, props, and more. Now, next to the why we choose this tool rationally. So the first one, Doratun frees you up to create unique videos, because Doratun give us millions of royalty-free animation, themes and template, backdrops, props, stock footage, and so on. Two, Doraton intends to simplify the process of generating video. For those who working in variety fields, including marketing, education, research management, and even entrepreneurs. It also includes a large collection of stock assets, which needs to speed up the development process, as well as sophisticated capabilities to, like text-to-speech and smart subtitling. Three, Doraton, like almost every other animation studio, has one. Doraton has a large library of materials that you may utilize in your projects. Four, Doraton offers special feature AI dubbing for your animation. You have to simplify write out your script for a character or overall narration. And Doraton AI text-to-speech will turn your type sentence into believable dialogues. And five, the last one, overall, Doraton is very simple, has a lot of features, and is free animation maker. Thank you. The next material will be presented by Muklas.
All right, thank you for giving me time to deliver my material. So what are the objectives of this application? What are the objectives of Doraton? So Doraton is for everyone who wants to make amazing video without having to learn complicated software or ways. It's like where we have to hire a specialist to use it, but the beginners will find it straightforward to use because of the simple interface and intuitive tools. Right. For the first is for marketers. Marketers may use animated videos to promote their products or services in a unique and memorable way. And second is for business owners. Doraton may be used for promotional videos, video marketing, customer or client communication, and event invites. And next is for HR heads. HR heads may utilize Doraton to improve their intuitive communication and interactions with potential and present workers. And the fourth is for the video creators. Doraton allows you to bring your ideas to life, whether you are an ambitious filmmaker or a casual YouTuber. The next is for educators and students. Doraton can be used in school, college, or even in university classroom to produce a presentation, infographics, and then other types of content. And the sixth, for anyone who wants to save time and money. As I said, the Doraton is an application, it's an animated, digital animated application where we don't have to learn the complicated software to use it. And the seventh or the last is for anyone with a creative bone in their body. Next slide, please. Sorry, next slide. All right, thank you. And then how Doraton works. Doraton is a digital drawing application. It likely works by providing user with a variety of tools and features to create and edit digital drawings. These tools may include a brush tool and then pencil, eraser, and then a selection and more. The application may also offer options to adjust the size, color, and opacity of these tools to customize the drawing experience. And additionally, the application may provide layers which allow users to separate different elements of the drawing and edit them independently. Users can likely import images or use pre-made stickers and shapes to add to their artwork. And overall, and finally, user after finished making the animated video, users can save their work as digital files or share them on social media platform. And overall, the goal of digital drawing application like Doraton is to provide users with a powerful and user-friendly platform to create and share digital art. Next slide, please. All right, thanks. And then step by step. To use Doratun, of course, the first thing that we have to do is we should have the application, and we can get the application. We can get Doratun from the App Store or Google Play, and then once installed, open the app and choose a canvas size for your drawing. From there, you can use the brush tool or the other features. And then you can also adjust the color and thickness of your lines, as well as add layers for more complex designs. Additionally, Doratun offers a selection of pre-made stickers and shapes that you can incorporate into your artwork. When you have finished your drawing, you can save it into your device, or you can share it on social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or the others. All right, and the next is the tutorial video that will be played by Alda. Alda, please.
Okay, the next material.
Alda, could you like to share the tutorial video? All right, I think Alda has a problem, so I will return the time back to the moderator. Thank you.
Sorry, I can hear the audio, the video.
Review on Doratun, an amazing online video maker you can use to realize amazing videos. All you have to do is sign up with your email and start right away, even with the free basic license. Doratun comes with loads of templates you can use to start making your video on several topics. In this case, let's pick a company profile template and open the main interface to start creating. The main interface is very simple to use, showing a big preview, all the options and tools on both sides. Each template comes with several pre-made slides you can add from the scene section on the left. Each slide has its own duration at the bottom and welcomes several elements you can modify and customize as you like. Double-click to edit any text, adjusting alignment, opacity, size and color on the right. Line or word spacing, or add any shadow effect. If you select any shape, you can set opacity, add any fill or outline color, or apply amazing effects and color adjustments. From the sections on the left, you can add other pieces of text, images, or shapes, or customize the slide background with one click. Switch by any solid color or upload any image you have. You can even click on any element to select to move, resize, or rotate it by using its nodes. In addition, you can open Format Painter on top to add any sound or speech. You can either upload any audio file you have, record with your microphone through the current slide or the entire video, or go for AI that will be automatically converted into a real-like speech. For example, we can type "Welcome to our company" and set voiceover type and gender, speed, and proper pauses.
Welcome to our company.
Doratoon is not just an online video maker. It includes loads of animated characters ready to use. You can import from the character section on the left and edit the character by going to Action above the facial expression. Once the video is ready, you can go to Preview to check it in detail and go to Export to render and export it. Define the cover image, the title, and add tags and metadata if necessary. With the Pro plan, you can remove any watermark or even apply your one, as well as exporting the video in full 1080p and quality. Here's one of the infinitive results of Doratoon.
We are using Doratoon for this demo. We have been realizing tutorials since 2013. Our main goal is help you achieve your success. With a team of people like you.
This is all you can do with Doratoon. Make sure to catch our video description to learn more and start editing with Doratoon.
Okay. Okay. And the third topic is critical reflection on the theory practice. Next slide. Advantages of the tools. First is Doratoon, a leading animation software for new generation. Doratoon is the greatest animation program used to create easy animated videos for fun. If you're making videos for marketing or promotion, or for any other reason, this free animation program can help you exhibit your product in the best light possible way. Doratoon provides quick access to all animation capabilities for making personalized videos utilizing the audience-prepared animation styles. Furthermore, Doratoon provides a wide range of templates where you can find your relevant video and edit it accordingly. With this animation program, you can easily expand your product marketing, short film, and advertisement. This free animation program allows you to make visually appealing videos with informative, educational, and entertaining content. You may also make reason videos for your students that have an amazing animation touch to them. And second is outstanding videos over by Doratoon Animation. Doratoon provides high-quality features that aid in the creation of beautiful animated videos for a variety of reasons. Here, we will find out the finished animation application most beneficial features, such as AI intelligent dubbing, AI intelligent drawing, format painter, templates, animated characters, PPT video conversation. And the third is there are also pros for this application. First is Doratoon has a plethora of tools that may make your animation task easier. And second is the built-in artificially intelligent capability adds in the creation of professional video through dubbing and painting. And the third is the Doratoon application built-in template cover
every subject of school and profession, making users that is more easier. And the fourth is the Doratun's free package has a plethora of features that consumers may enjoy for free. Next slide. Here there are disadvantage of the tools. First, it requires effort and time in Doratun to synchronize text with a voice in the artificial intelligence dubbing features. And second is Doratun animated video need a lot of bandwidth, which takes a long time to display and download on a sluggish internet connect. Next slide. And then how does it support language learning? The PPT or presentation video or animated video that is made through Doratun will increase the interest and attractivity of the learning media, so that students' motivation will increase. Okay, that's all. The material will be available by Alda.
So the last one is the conclusion. So there is the importance of animation in the different fields of life because of the incredible development of technology. Free animation is now a well-known concept in the editing industry. Furthermore, Doratun is the leading and best animation software that provides a variety of high-quality features for simple animation. Thank you. I think that's all from me. I'll give it back to moderator.
Thank you for that really great presentations and inspiring a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the questions and answer sessions. All participants can drop the questions in the chat box and also can directly ask to the presenters and to the group 1 and group 2. Maybe you want to answer the questions, please.
Can I from group 1 answer the question?
Okay, please.
Okay, so I will answer the question. How does 3D animation work on music videos? So our answer is by making animated music video, it can range from a simple video or even a complex cinematic like animation. But of course, it all depends on our skill, and we think there should be a separate team to handle the animation other than the musician. Is that enough to answer the question?
Oh, that's really great answer. Thank you, Group 1, for answering the questions. We're still waiting for the questions for Group 3 and Group 4. Okay, we have Rini, that you can unmute your microphone. You can deliver the questions, please. To Rene Roche Chande, please, to deliver your questions. Cannot unmute. Okay, just a moment. Okay, you can try to unmute your microphone. No?
Hi, so am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to place a question for the group 3. Yeah, so my question is, while I was listening to their presentation, I was very curious. Does Fantastic offers censorship? We know that especially that most users of it are children. So does it offer censorship on their stories? Or is it also one of the limitations or disadvantages of Fantastic?
Okay, thank you for the questions, Ms. Rene. And to group 3, please to answer the questions.
All right,
Who-
thank you for asking the question about gymnastics. I really appreciate your curiousness and you just want to know about it. And the answer is yes. Actually, yes, it is it's the limitation because the Tuntasik has only limited range for the user because and also it's yes, despite that mention that the disadvantage that we explained before, that is only with the limitation that when we using Tuntasik. But at least we could do some improvisation if we have enough editing skill. It could be still capable software that help us to do
Thank you for the great answer, Rezki. And how about the answer, Miss Renee? Is already clear enough?
Hi, yes, thank you.
Thank you for the question and for the answer. Have questions in the chat box from Mr. Iqbal. Is the return a fact for all jobs, especially business? Please to group 4 to answer the questions.
All right, so I'm here as a representative from Group 4. I will answer the question from Mr. Iqbal. Is the return effect for all jobs, especially business? For business, yeah, especially for business because we can use the return for make advertisement or marketing video for your business. So it will make your marketing video will be more creative and make people interesting to look for what is your what is it over. So yes, the return will really affect for all jobs, especially for business and as a teachers. Thank you. Is that?
Thank you, Ms. Alda, for answering the questions from Mr. Iqbal. Okay, how about the answer is already clear enough? All right, thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of this session. Before I close this session, I would like to say thank you to the keynote speakers, Dr. Amitabh, Vikram, Dwivedi, and Dr. Muthmainnah, M.Pd. Very glad to having both of you in this webinar. And I would like to say thank you so much to the group presentations and all the participants who already participated in this international webinar on digital storytelling. Once again, thank you so much to all of you. I'm Tahtania Regita. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now back to the Master of Ceremony, Ms. Rizka Amelia, SPD, please.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Tahtania, who has guided the intriguing presentation and discussion session. And also, thank you very much for all the presenters on today's webinar. All of you have done excellent jobs. We also would like to thank to all participants and also our distinguished participant, Ming-yao, Winnie, Hsung from Taipei Wanfu Public Elementary School. Hello, Miss. Thank you very much for joining our webinar. So everyone, this is the end of our webinar. I'd like to remind you that tomorrow, 6th of May 2023 at 1 p.m. Jakarta time is the second day of the international webinar. We have another 2 excellent keynote speakers, Dr. Sybill, Krizzia, Gabronino, Ledesma from Southern Leyte State University, Philippines, and Ming-yao, Winnie, Hsung from Taipei Wanfu Public Elementary School, Taiwan, and 4 group presentations. For the attendance link, We will provide it tomorrow on the last day of webinar. Don't worry, everyone. Your present today is still counted, and you can write it later on the presence link given tomorrow. And we won't share it on the WhatsApp group, so please don't miss the last day. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are gonna do photo session. To all participants, please turn on your cameras. Let's start with the first slide, but let me check. All of you have already turned on the cameras. All right. The photo session will be led by me, but it will be taken by our committee. So everyone, please be ready. Wait, let me. Okay. Because we both, we don't know where are you, the first slide on or in the second slide. So please keep the pose, okay? Smiling, everyone. Let's start from the first slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Is it already taken? All right, the next slide. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job. The next slide, please. 3, 2, 1. All right. The fourth slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay. And the last slide. Okay. All right. Is it already saved? The community? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of today's webinar. On behalf of International Webinar on Digital Storytelling Committee at English Education Department of Siliwangi University, we would like to say thank you very much to all the excellent keynote speakers, presenters, and distinguished participants. Thank you very much. I'm Krizzia signing off. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Jakarta time.